Hello guys, welcome back to my class. So today we are going to learn a sum which we studied earlier, previous class. So this is same sum, but we are going to look into a different question. So we'll revise once what we studied in a previous class. So it's a similar problem, so no need to worry. So here in this question it says a physician purchased a particular vaccine. So the vaccine must be used within a week, otherwise it's worthless. So they are saying the vaccine must be used within a week, otherwise it's a worthless. So the vaccine cost it at rupees 2 per dose, and the physician sell it for rupees 4 per dose. So actually he buys for rupees 2 per dose, and he sells it for rupees 4 per dose. So by selling he makes a profit of rupees 2 for the past 50 weeks. The following information is given below. So this is doing for the past 50 weeks, and here they have given a table. So in table they have given a demand. So demand is nothing but dose. So dose, so how many dose they have given? So 20 dose in 5 weeks, so 25 dose in 15 weeks, then 40 dose in 25 weeks, and 60 dose in 5 weeks, number of weeks. So in previous sum they have given number of days, but here they have given number of weeks. So no need to worry, weeks and days will be same. So the calculation will be same. So here they are saying suggest how many dose should the physician stock base EMV, EOL, also calculate EPPI and EVPI. So these are the four things they are saying us to calculate. So EMV, EOL, EPPI and EVPI, which we also find out in a previous sum. So the first step is we have to see in this question is for how much he is buying. So he is buying for 2 per dose, right? So that thing we have to keep in mind. So he is buying for 2 per dose, and that physician is selling for it for 4 per dose. So he is buying for 2 and selling for 4. So by selling he makes a profit of rupees 2, and if he don't sell he'll make a loss of rupees 2. So here even the profit is 2 and the loss is 2. If he sell he'll make a profit of 2, or else he'll make a loss of 4. Then they have this table, number of those and number of weeks, and we have to find out EMV, EOL, EPPI and EVPI. So first look into first step. So the first step here is we have to find out the probability. So how to find out the probability? First thing we have to copy the table which they have given in the question. So this particular table we have to copy here. So first we are writing the demands. So the demand is 20, 25, 40 and 60. And we can write the number of days into number of weeks. So that particular days we are converting into weeks. So here you can also write a number of weeks, no need of you can write anything. So the calculation will be same. So the number of weeks will be 5, 15, 25, 5. So the total of this will be 5 plus 15 plus 25 plus 5 will be 50. So here we got a total of 50. So now we have to find out the probability. So how to find out the probability? So 5 divided by 50 will give us 0.1. Then 15 divided by 50 will give us 0.3. Then 25 divided by 50 will give us 0.5. Then 5 divided by 5 divided by 50 will give us 0.1. So by dividing each demand with number of days, we got a probability. So first step in this sum is to find out a probability. Once a probability is done, we have to go to next step, which is payoff table. So now we have to prepare a payoff table. So as I said earlier, these are the two important things, like for how much we are buying and for how much we are selling. So we are buying for rupees 2 and selling for rupees 4. And by selling, we are making a profit of 2. And if we don't sell, we'll make a loss of rupees 2. So this is a thing we have to remember. Now we'll look into payoff table. So the payoff table will somehow look like this. So first we have to write events. So events is nothing but demand. So here we have four demands. So demand 20, demand 25, demand 40 and demand 60. Then we have alternatives. So alternative is nothing but stock 20, stock 25, stock 40 and stock 60. So now we have events as well as alternatives. Now we have to fill the payoff table. So how to fill the payoff table? So first we have to look in this, how many stocks we have and how many demands we have. So here we have a stock of 20 and demand of 20. So we have 20 vaccines and we have also a 20 patients, so which we are selling them. So we can directly sell this 20 to 20 patients. So by selling, each will make a profit of rupees 2, right? So the 2 we are multiplying with the two stocks which we have, because the demand is also same. So we'll multiply. So 2 is the profit. So 2 into 20. So 20 into 2 will give a value of rupees 40. So that 40 we are writing here. So here in this case, the stock was also equal and the demand was also equal. So we had 20 as demand and 20 as stock. So we are selling the whole stock to the demand and making a profit of rupees 40. Next, we'll look into stock 25. In the stock 25, we have a stock of 25 and demand of 20. Here, we have excess stock, but the demand is less. The patients are less here. So what to do in this case? So whatever demand we have, that particular thing we can sell, and the remaining stock will just ignore it, or the remaining stock will subtract it, will deduct it. So we have 25 stock, right? So we have only 20 demands. So that particular 20 demands we are selling to 20 patients. So 20 into 2 will give us 40. So first that 40 will write it here. So we have 40 here. Now 5 stocks are remaining, right? So if we don't sell one particular stock, we are incurring a loss of rupees 2. So if we incur a loss of 2 for one particular unit or one particular dose, so for 5 dose, how many loss we are making? So 2 into 5 will be 10. So 2 5s are 10. So by selling 20 stocks, we got a profit of 50. So with that profit of 50, we incurred a loss of 10. So that 10 we are subtracting with our profit. So 40 minus 10 will give us 30. So that 30 we are writing here. So like this it goes. Now we have a stock of 40 and demand of 20. So we have double the stock, but the demand is less, but the demand is only half. So what to do in this case? So first, how much ever demand we have, so that particular demand we are selling. So we have 20 demands. So the 20 demands we are selling. So 20 into 2. So 22 is 40. So 22 is 40. So that 40 we are writing here. So now till now we have a profit of rupees 40. So now we have 40. Now excess 20 we have. So we can split in this two. So 20 we have and 20 we have. So first 20 we are selling. So by selling first 20, we made a profit of rupees 40. So the remaining 40 is lost for us, right? So here for one particular unit, we are getting a loss of rupees 2. So like that we have 20 particular units or 20 particular dose. So the 20 into 2 will give us 40. So now we have 40 loss and 40 profit. So we can minus here. So first we had a 40 profit, right? So 40 profit minus 40 loss. So both will be cancelled and both will be settled equally. So the loss will also get cancelled and the profit will also get cancelled. And we'll have 0 here. So we don't have anything. So we don't have any profit. So it's settled there. So by selling, we got a 40 and we incurred a loss of 40. So now the demand is met. The demand is also met and we have covered our loss. So here we don't have any profit. So we have profit of 0. So that particular 0 we are writing here in column 3. Now stock 60. So here we have 60 stock and 20 demands. So the stock we have is thrice the demand. So we have only 20 demands, but we have a stock of 60. So now in this case, what to do? So what to do in this case is nothing but how much ever stock we have to see what are our demands. So here the demand is 20. So at least we can meet 20 demands here, right? So instead of 60, we can meet 20. So remaining 40 will be unsold. So that 40 will keep it aside and we'll look into the 20 stocks which we can sell. We can meet this 20 demand. So the 20 we are selling this 20. So 20 into 2, the profit for each unit will be 2, right? So 20 into 2 will give us 40. So now we have a profit of rupees 40 and the remaining stock which is unsold is 40, right? So that 40, so for each particular end the loss is 2. So 2 into 40, so 2 4s are, so 2 into 40, so 4 2s are 8, so 80 is the loss. So 40 is the profit, 80 is the loss. So here the loss is double and the profit is half. So what to do in this case? The profit will be covered. So half of the profit will be covered with the profit what we have got. So that 80 will be subtracted with 40. So that 40 what we had a profit. So 40 minus 80, the remaining will be 40 loss. So after covering the profit what we had after selling 20 demands, after meeting 20 demands, so the total loss we incurred will be 40. Initial loss was 80 because of the profit we got earlier by selling 20 stock and meet the 20 demands. We had made 40 profit, so that 80 loss will be deducted to 40. So now we have no profit, but we have a loss of minus 40. So this is how it works. So next we will go to next row, which is demand 25. So here demand is more, but stock is less. So when we have more demand, no need to worry. When we have less demand, that time we have to worry. So here we have a more demand, which is 25, and we have a stock of 40. So only we can meet whatever stock we have, only we can sell only that part. So the remaining demand, we can't do anything because we don't have any stock left with us. So if we had any additional stock, we can able to sell them, but we don't have any stock to sell them. So only whatever stock we have, that we are going to sell them. So that particular 20 stock, we are meeting the 20 demands and the remaining 5 demand will be ignored because we don't have any stock. So by selling this particular 20 demands to them, we are meeting a profit of rupees 40. So 20 into 2, so 2 2s are 4, so 40. So 20 into 4 will be 40. So that 40 we are writing it here. So that 40 we are writing it here. So next we'll move to next column. So here we have stock of 25 and demand of 25. So here the demand is equal to the stock what we have. So no need to worry. So we can sell whole this 25 to, we can make this whole demand of 25. So no need to worry. So for each unit we are getting a profit of 2. So 2 into 25 will give us 50. So that particular 50 we are writing here. So no need to worry, we got a profit. So next we'll look into third column, in which we have 40 stock, but we have a loss, we have a stock of 40 and a demand of 25. Here we have additional stock of 15. So what to do for that particular additional demand? So what to do for that particular additional demand? We can't do anything. We have to just deduct with our profit. So we have, so here we can meet 25 demands. So that particular 25 demands we can multiply. So 25 into 2. So 25 into 2 will give us 50. So that particular 50 we are writing here. So rest 15 which is unsold. So rest 15 will be deducted. So that 15 will be deducted with our profit and the balance will be written here. So the 20 will be written here. So next again we'll move to this one. So here we have a stock of 60 but demand of 25. So we have a excess stock, but the demand is only 25. We can meet only this much demand. So we can able to sell only this much. So the rest will be deducted with our profit. So only 25 stocks we can able to sell. That 25 we are selling here. So 25 into 25. So 25 into 25, we are meeting the demand. So that 25 into 2 will give us a profit of rupees 50. So now we have a profit of rupees 50, and the remaining is, so now the 25 is deducted. So now 25 is deducted and the remaining is 35. So the 35 is the loss for us. So for each unit is 2, right? So 35 into 2. The remaining thing will be deducted with our profit and will incur a loss of rupees minus 20. So we incurred a loss of minus 20. In earlier case, we had a demand of less, so we incurred a loss of minus 40. But here the demand was increased by 5, right? So the loss was also decreased by 2, minus 20. Now we'll go to demand 40. So demand 40. So here we have only 20 stocks, but we have a demand of 40. So we have double the demand, but we don't have a stock. So what to do? So we can only able to sell what we have, so that we are selling. So 20 into 20 demands we are meeting. So 20 into 2, which is a profit of each unit. So 20 into 2 will give us a profit of rupees 40. So that particular 40 we are writing here. Then again, we have a stock of 25, but the demand is 40. So we can't do anything. We can only able to meet this particular demand. So we can only able to sell only 25. So 25 into 2 will give us for 50. So that 50 we are writing here. So next again, we have a stock of 40 and the profit and the demand of 40. So now we can able to meet this whole stock to this whole demand. So we are able to meet. So now we can sell this 40 stocks. So 40 into 2 will give us 80. So 80 will be the value will be written here. Now next is stock 60. So stock 60, we have a demand of 40. So what to do? So here we have a demand less, but we have a stock of more. So we can only able to sell 40 stocks. So 40 into 2. So 40 into 2 will be 80. So now we have 80, and in that 80 the loss is 20, right? So for 20 loss, the first we got a profit of 80 and the loss is 40, minus 40. So in that profit of 80 we are subtracting minus 40. So we got a profit of 40. So this is how it works. So now demand 40 is done. So next we'll go to demand 60. So in demand 60, the stock for in first column the stock is 20, stock 20. So we can only meet the stock 20. The rest of the demand we have to ignore. So 20 will able to sell. So 20 into 2 will give us 40. Next we have 25 stock and more demand. So we'll only able to sell 25. Rest of thing we have to just ignore. So 25 into 2 will give us 50. So this 50 we have to return. Next is 40. So we'll able to meet only 40 because we have only 40 stock left with us. The additional demand will be ignored. So this 40 into 2 will give us 80. So we have written 80 over here. So next is stock 60 and also demand is 60. So here it says we have meet the demand. So we also have a demand of 60 and also the stock of 60. So we can able to sell whole stocks and meet our demand. So by selling this 60, we'll make a profit of rupees 120. So each the profit will be 2. So 60 into 2 will be 120. So this is how it works. So we have to check with each particular demand and each particular stocks. So before getting the payoff table, we have to remember this. So we are buying for 2 and selling for 4. So by selling, we are making a profit of 2. And if we don't sell, we'll make a loss of rupees 2. Profit is also 2 and the loss is also 2. So by this, we have to calculate our payoff table. So now we'll go to third step. So third step is we have to prepare a EMV table. So first to find out EMV table, we have to take a help of payoff table. So how the EMV table works. So first we have to write our events. So events is nothing but demands, whichever we have. So demand 20 we have, demand 25 we have, demand 40 we have, and demand 60 we have. So these are the 4 demands which we have. Next column we have to write the probabilities. So these are the probabilities which we have written in a first table, or we have calculated by using a number of weeks. So number of weeks divided by total number of weeks. So by dividing that, we have get our probabilities. So the for demand 20, the probability is 0.1, and for demand 25, the probability is 0.3. For demand 40, the probability is 0.5. For demand 60, the probability is 0.4. So these are the probabilities we got. So after getting a probabilities, how to calculate this EMV table? So to calculate this EMV table, we have to come back to payoff table. So this is the payoff table. So we have to multiply. So see, so we have to check of, we'll go with first this row, first row of demand 20. So for demand 20, the probability is 0.1. So we'll look in this. So demand 20, the probability is 0.1. So 0.1 into 40. So 0.1 into 40 will give us 4. Then again 0.1 into 30 will give us 3. Then 0.1 into 0 will be 0, because anything multiplied by 0 will be 0. So that we are writing 0 here. So again 0.1 into minus 40 will give us minus 4. So now first row is done. Now we'll go with second row. So demand 25. So demand 25, the probability is 0.3. So 0.3 into 40 will give us 12. Then 0.3 into 50 will give us 15. Then 0.3 into 20 will give us 6. Then 0.3 into minus 20 will give us minus 6. Now demand 25 is done. Now we'll go with demand 40. So the demand 40, the probability is 0.5. So 0.5 into 40 will give us 20. Then 0.5 into 50 will give us 25. Then 0.5 into 80 will give us 40. Then 0.5 into 40 will give us 20. So this row is done. Now we'll go with next row, which is demand 60. And the probability for this is 0.1. So 0.1 into 40 will give us 4. Then 0.4 into 50 will give us 5. Then 0.4 into 80 will give us 8. Then 0.1 into 120 will give us 12. So by multiplying this probability with each row column wise, we'll get a values for EMV table. So after multiplying with each probabilities, we have to get a total of each stock. So first we'll go with stock 20. So 4 plus 12 plus 20 plus 4 will give a total of 40. So that 40 we are writing in this stock 12 column. Next we'll go with stock 25. So in stock 25 we are going to add 3 plus 15 plus 25 plus 5 will give a total of 48. Next, the stock of 40. So 0 plus 6 plus 40 plus 8 will give a total of 54. Next, we'll go with stock 60. So minus 4 minus 4 plus of minus 6 plus 20 plus 12. So first this both will add, then we'll subtract this minus 6 and minus 4. So by subtracting, by adding and by subtracting, we'll get a total of 22. So now we got a total for all these stocks. So for stock 20, the total is 40, and for stock 25, the total is 48, and for stock 40, the total is 54, and for stock 60, the total is 22. So now we got a total for each particular stock. Now we have to write the total here. So after writing a total, we have to check. So in EMV table, we have to check for the highest value in each total. So among these stocks of 20, 25, 40 and 60, we have to check which have got a highest value, highest total. So here stock 40 has got a highest total, which is 54. So stock 40 got a total of 54. So this we have to select. So now we are selecting stock 40. So why we are selecting stock 40? because it's give a highest total. So in AMV table, we are going to select a highest values. So like this, we are going to find out a AMV table. So first we are going to write events which are demands. Then we are going to write a probabilities. Then we are going to multiply these probabilities with each particular row. So first probability demand 20 probability will be multiplied by demand 20 row, full row will multiply. Like this we have to multiply with each row, each probability with each row. Next step we have to look and find out a regret table. So to find out the regret table, we have to take the help of payoff table. So how to find a regret table? So to find a regret table, we have to first look into payoff table. So we'll go with row wise. So first column, so first demand we have demand 20. So in this particular column, we'll look which is the highest value, which has the highest value. So here in this particular column, we have a highest value of 40. So this particular 40 we are selecting, and after selecting this particular 40, we are subtracting with this whole row. So 40 minus 40 will give us 0. So that 0 we are writing here. Then 40 minus 30 will give us 10. So the 10 we are writing here. Then 40 minus 0. So 40 minus 0, the answer will be 40. So that 40 we are writing here. Then 40 minus of minus 40. So that minus into minus will become plus. So 40 plus 40 will be 80. So that 80 we are writing here. So now first row is done. Now we'll go with second row, which is demand 25. So in demand 25 we have here the highest is, among this row the highest we have is 50. So now this 50 we are selecting. So here 50 minus 40 will give us 10. So the 10 we are writing. Then 50 minus 50 will be 0. So that 0 we are writing here. Then 50 minus 20, the remaining 30 will be written here. Then 50 minus of minus 20. So that minus into minus will become plus. So 50 plus 20 will become 70. So that 70 we are writing here. Now we'll go with next row, which is demand 40. So in demand 40, the highest value we have is 80. So among this row, the highest value is 80. So now we are going to subtract the row with this 80. So 80 minus 40, the balance will be 40, which is written here. Next, 80 minus 50 will give us 30. So the 30 we are written here. Then 80 minus 80, balance is 0. So that we are writing here. And again, 80 minus 40. So the balance will be written here. The 40 is the balance. Then we'll go with last row, which is demand 60. So here the highest value we have is 120 among this row. So 120 minus 40. So 120 minus 40, the balance will be 80, which is written here. Then 120 minus 50, the balance is 70. 120 minus 80, the balance is 40. Then 120 minus 120 will give us 0. So we got a value as 0. So now we are done with regret table, and we have also filled the values of regret table. So how to fill the values of regret table? So we have to take the help of payoff table. So by the help of payoff table, we are going to look into first row. So first row, we have to see whichever is the highest in this particular first row. We have to select that highest value, and the rest things we are going to subtract with this highest value, like 40 minus 40, 40 minus 30, 40 minus 0, then 40 minus of minus 40. So like this, we are going to subtract with the highest value, and the values, the balance values will be written here in the regret table. So like this, we are going to prepare a regret table with the help of payoff table. So after getting a regret table, we are going to find out the EOL table. So how to find EOL table? So to find out the EOL table, we have to take again the help of regret table. So it's a link between each table. So first we have to make a payoff table. Then after making a payoff table, we have to make a regret table. So to find a regret table, again we have to look into payoff table. Then again to find out EOL table, we have to again take the help of regret table. So it's a link between each table. So to find the EOL table, so first we have to write a demands. So events and demands. So here the demand which we have written here. So demand 20 we have, demand 25 we have, demand 40 we have, and demand 60 we have. So these are the four demands which we are written here. Next we are going to write the probabilities. So these are the probabilities which we have find out in a first table with the help of the weeks which we have got in a question, number of weeks and total number of weeks. So with the help of that, we got a probability of for demand 20 it's 0.1, for demand 25 it's 0.3, for demand 40 it's 0.5, and for demand 60 it's a 0.1. So now we got a probabilities. So after getting a probabilities, we have to look into regret table. So this particular table we have to look. So to fill these values, we have to multiply. So with which we have to multiply. So by using this particular probability, so demand 20 probability is 0.1, right? So this 0.1 we are multiplying with this whole row, like 0.1 into 0 will give us 0, then 0.1 into 10 will give us 1, then 0.1 into 40 will give us 4, then 0.1 into 80 will give us 8, then like the same. So demand 25, the probability is 0.3. So 0.3 into 10, so 0.3 into 10 will give us 3, then 0.3 into 0 will be 0, then 0.3 into 30 will be 9, then 0.3 into 70 will be 21. Next comes demand 40. The probability is 0.5. So 0.5 into 40. So 0.5 into 40 will be 20. Then again 0.5 into 30 will be 15. Then 0.5 into 0 will be 0. Then 0.5 into 40 will be 20. So now demand 40 row is done. Next we'll look into demand 60, which is 0.1. So 0.1 into 80. So 0.1 into 80 will give us 8. Then 0.1 into 70 will give us 7. Then 0.1 into 40 will give us 4. Then 0.1 into 0 will give us 0. So now the total will be 31, 23, 17 and 49. So we got a total of each stock. So 0 plus 3 plus 20 plus 8, the total is 31. Then for stock 25, it's 1 plus 0 plus 15 plus 7 is 23. Then for stock 40, it's 4 plus 9 plus 0 plus 4 will give us 17. Then stock 60 will be 8 plus 21 plus 20 plus 0 plus 49. So by adding this four column, we'll get total of 49. So now we got a total of this EOL table values. So after getting a total, so we are writing the values here. Stock 20, 31, stock 25, 23, stock 40, 17, and stock 60 is 19. So in EOL table, we have to check for the lowest values. So here the lowest value which we have is 17. So the 17, the stock is stock 40. So we are selecting this. So we are going to circle it off. So stock 40 with a value of 17, which is the lowest among all these stocks. So in EMV table, we are selecting the highest values, but in EOL table, we are selecting a lowest values, which will give us stock 40. So here you can see we got a same stock for both the tables. For EMV table also we got stock 40, and for EOL table also we got stock 40. But in earlier previous sum, as we have seen, we got a different answers. Like for every problem we got a different answer, but the question was same, but the events and alternatives was same, demand and stock were also same, but the answer what we got is different. Like for some question we got as x as answer, for some question we got y as answer, and for some question we got z as answer. So to come out of that error and to find out the optimal solution, we are using this method. So in this method, we are going to find out EMV table and UL table. So with the help of these tables, we are able to get an optimal solution, which will able to find out which stock will give it a maximum profit. So here in this case, the maximum profit will give us stock 40. So how do we find out that stock 40 is a right answer? We have checked that both EMV table gives same value and UL table also gives the same value. So both of them gives a same value of stock 40. So we are selecting stock 40 as a optimal solution. So next step they are saying to find out the EPPI table. So calculation of EPPI table. So to find out this table, we have to draw the columns of event, probability, payoff, and EPPI. So first events. So events is nothing but demand. So that particular demands we are writing, what demands we have. So we have, so this demands we are writing. So demand 20, demand 25, demand 40, and demand 60. So that demands we are writing here. So after writing a demand, we are writing the probabilities. So 0 0.1, 0 0.3, 0 0.5, and 0 0.1. So these are the probabilities which we have written in the earlier table, in the first table, by calculating the number of weeks with total number of weeks. So now we have to write a payoff. So how to write a payoff? Highest payoff in each event. So we have to look into this table. So in this particular payoff table, we have to check with row wise. So in each event we have to look into. So in this particular event, the highest value is 40. And in this particular event, the highest value is 50. And in this particular event, the highest value is 80. And in fourth particular event, the highest value is 120. So the highest values in each event is 40, 50, 80, and 120. So that values we are writing here, 40, 50, 80, and 120. So after writing a payoff, we have to find out the EPPI values. So to find out the EPPI values, the formula we have to use probability into payoff. So this probability values and this payoff values, we have to multiply. So 0.1 into 40 will give us 4. Then 0.3 into 50 will give us 115. Then 0.5 into 80 will give us 40. Then 0.1 into 120 will give us 12. Then we have to find out a total. So total will be 71. 4 plus 15 plus 40 plus 12 will give us total of 71. So this is the total value of EPPI. So how to write it? First we have to write the events, then probabilities, then payoff, highest payoff in each event. So this particular each event we have to see which is the highest probabilities in each particular row. See, these are the payoffs which we got. So we got 40, we got 50, 80, and we got 120. After that, we have to multiply and find out a EPPI. So to find out EPPI, we have to multiply 40 into 0.1, 50 into 0.3, 80 into 0.5, then 120 into 0.1. After that, we have to add all these EPPI values. So 4 plus 15 plus 40 plus 12 will give us 71. So after getting EPPI value, we have to find out EVPI value. So how to find out EVPI values? So to find out EVPI values, we have a formula. So this is a formula. So EVPI is equal to EPPI minus EMV. So EPPI value already we have here. So that particular value we are writing here. So 71 EMV. So EMV value, we have to go back and look into EMV table. So in EMV table, we have a values of each stock, the total we have, right? So the total, the highest total which we have for stock 22, that particular thing we are writing here. So for stock 22, we have a value of 54. So that 71 we are subtracting. So 71 minus 54 will give a value of 70. So by using this formula, we'll able to find out the value for EVPI. So the value for EVPI will be 17 and the value for EPPI will be 71. So these are the four things which we have to find out. So first we have to find out EVM table, EOL table, then EPPI and EVPI. So by using all these formulas, uh, we'll able to find out solutions for each thing, and we got a optimal solution like stock 2 will be the same answer for all of the things, so which we have to select. So now no need to worry. So we got an optimal solution which says stock 2 gives the highest value. So highest value is the highest profit. So that particular thing we are going to select stock 22. So once again, I'll revise you how to do it. So first step is to find out the probabilities. So how to find out the probabilities? First, we have to write out the demands, then number of weeks. So it can be even number of days, number of weeks. It can be anything. You can write it anything here. So in question, we have number of weeks. So I have just converted weeks into days, but the values here is same as weeks. So first step, we have to find out the total. So 5 plus 15 plus 25 plus 5 will give us a total of 50. So after getting a value, we have to divide. So 5 divided by 50 will give us 0.1. 15 divided by 50 will be 0.3. So 20 divided by 50 will give us 0.5. Then 5 divided by 50 will give us 0.1. So this is the probability values which we got. So next step is to find out a payoff table. So in payoff table, we have to first look into this for how much we are buying and for how much we are selling. So if we sell, what's the profit, and if we don't sell, what's the loss. So here it says if we are buying for rupees 2 and we are selling for rupees 4. So by selling one particular unit, we'll make a profit of 2. And in question this is if we don't sell, it's a value less. So if we don't sell, it's a value less. So we have a one stock and we are not able to sell. So it's a value less. So it's a loss. So here the loss is also 2 and the profit also 2. So both loss and values are loss and profit are equal. So how to do that? So we have a stock of 20 and a demand of 20. So here we can meet our stock and demand. So whole 20 stocks we can sell to this whole particular demand. So 20 into 20 we can meet. So 20, the profit of each unit is 2, right? So 2 into 20 will give us 40. So like this we are multiplying and writing the profit amount what we got. Here we have a stock of 25, but the demand is only 20. So here how to write? So here we are only able to sell 20 because we have 20 demands. So the less will be lost for us because there is no demand, so we can't sell. So the 5 remaining will be the loss, and we are able to only sell the 20. So by selling the 20 with a profit of each unit as 2 each, so 20 into 2 will give us 40, right? So that 40 we are writing here, and the remaining is 5. So the loss is also 2 for each unit. So 5 2 is a 10. So we have a profit of 40 and loss of 10. So the 10 we are subtracting with our profit. So the final answer will be 30. We got a profit. So like that we have to do it for each row. So here we have 40 demand and 40 stock and 20 demand. So here the demand, the stock we have is twice as the demand. So we are able to only sell 20 and 20 will be lost. So we can split into 2. So 20 we are able to sell and 20 we are not able to sell. So by selling 20 we are making a profit of 40, and by not selling we are making a loss of minus 40. So the profit what we got, it will cover up the losses. So by covering the losses, we don't have any profit left, because what profit we got, it's already settled with our losses. So it's already settled. So like this it's work. So like that we have to do it for each row and each column payoff. So after getting a payoff table, we have to find out an EMV table. So to find out the EMV table, first we have to write down the events, then probabilities, which we have found out in our previous table. So after writing the probabilities, we have to multiply this probability values with our events with each row. Like demand 20, which we have 0.1. So 0.1 into 40, 0.1 into 30, then 0.1 into 0, then 0.1 into minus 40. So like this, we have to multiply with each column with each particular row. So this row will be done with this row, this row will be done with this row, this row will be done with this row. So like this it goes on. So after multiplying and writing the values of EMV table, we have to find out a total. So the total for stock 20 is 40, for stock 25 it's 48, for stock 40 it's 54, and for stock 60 it's a 22. So now we got a total for each stock. So now we have to write a stock for stock total values we have to write. So now in this values we have to look for the highest value. So the highest value here is 54. So the 54, the stock for this is 40. So stock 40 gives a highest value, highest profit, which is 54. So that particular thing we are selecting. So now we have done with EMV table, which is done with the help of payoff table. So next we have to find out a regret table. So to find out a regret table, we have to use the help of payoff table. So how to find a payoff table? So how to find a regret table? So to find out the regret table, we have to go with the payoff table and we have to go with a row wise. So like in this particular row, we have to check whichever the number is highest. So here the highest number is 40, right? So that 40 we are subtracting with the whole row. So 40 minus 40, 40 minus 30, 40 minus 0, then 40 minus of minus 40 will become plus. So 40 plus 40. So like that. So like that for each row, for each particular row we have to find out. So by subtracting with each row and each column, we'll able to get a regret table values. So after getting a regret table values, we have to find out a EOL table. So to find out a EOL table, we have to again take the help of regret table. So again we have to write events which are the demands. So demand 20, demand 25, demand 40, and demand 60. Then we have to write a probabilities, which is 0 0.1, 0 0.3, 0 0.5, and 0 0.1. Then again we have to multiply with the rows with each row. So this particular probability will be multiplied by each row of this particular column, and this probability will be multiplied by this row with each particular column. So this particular probability will be multiplied by this row with each particular column, and this particular probability will be multiplied by this particular row with each column. So like this we have to multiply, like same we did in EMV table. So in EMV table we multiplied it by payoff table, but in EOL table we are multiplying by regret table. So after multiplying, we are getting a total of each stocks for stock 20, for stock 25, for stock 40, and for stock 60. So the total is 31, 23, 17, and 49. So these are the totals. So after getting a total, we'll just write the totals, what we got. So in this totals, we have to look for the lesser number. So here in this particular total, so the lesser number here is 17. So now we have to look into this particular 17. So why we are taking 17? Because EOL table says we have to select a total which has a lesser value. So here the lesser value is 17. So the 17, the stock is 40. So the stock 40 with a value of 17. So this particular thing we are taking down. So this will circle it off. So now we have find out a EOL table. So here you can see the link between the tables. So to find out regret table, we got a help of payoff table, and to find out the EOL table, we got a help of regret table, and also to find EMV table as well, we got a help of payoff table. So here the payoff table is a important thing. So only with the help of payoff table, we can able to carry on with the sums. So next we have to look into calculation of EPPI. So first we have to write the demands, which are demand 10, demand 11, demand 12, and demand 13. Then comes probability, which is 0.1, 0.13, 0.15, and 0.1. Then we have to look into highest payoff in each particular event. So the highest payoff in each particular event is, so here it's 40, here it's 50, 80, and 120. So like this it goes. So that particular values we are writing here. So 40, 50, 80, and 120. Next, we have to find out a EPPI. So to find out EPPI, we have to just multiply the probabilities with payoff values. So 0.1 into 40 will give us 4, then 0.3 into 50 will give us 15, then 0.5 into 80 will give us 40, then 0.1 into 120 will give us 12. So next we have to find out the total of EPPI. So 4 plus 15 plus 40 plus 12 will give us a total of 71. So now we got a values for EPPI. So next step we have to find out a value for EVPI. So to find out a value for EVPI, we have to use this formula. So EVPI is equal to EPPI minus EMV. So the value for EPPI is 71, which is here. So that particular thing we can directly write it here. For EMV, we have to go back to EMV table and we have to check for the total for each particular stock. And in each particular stock, we have to check whichever is the highest stock we have, and that particular value we have to write. So in EMV table, the highest value we got for stock 40, which is total of 54. So that particular 54 we are writing here. Then we are subtracting. So 71 minus 54 will give us a value of 17. So now we got a total value of EVPI as well, which is 17. So these are the 4 steps which we are going to find out. So first was EMV table. So for EMV table, first we have to draw the probabilities. Then we have to draw the payoff table. With the help of payoff table, we have to find out EMV table. Then we have to, after finding EMV table, we have to find out EOL table. So to find out EOL table, first we have to draw a regret table. So to find out regret table, again we have to go to payoff table. So with the help of payoff table, we have to find regret. Then with the help of regret, we have to find EOL. So after finding EOL, we have to come to EPPI. So EPPI, we have the formula. So by applying the formula we have to use, then EVPI also has a formula. So EVPI is equal to EPPI minus EMP. So by subtracting this, we'll get a value, total final value. So this is how this sum works. So here in this sum, you can see we have find out the optimal solution. So in every, so in this particular problem, so it says, so all the methods in this problem, it says only stock 40 can give the optimal solution. So even in EOL table, it says stock 40, and even in EMV table, it says stock 40, and even in EPPI and EVPI as well, it says stock 40. So the final optimal solution for this particular problem is stock 40 we are selecting. So this is how we have done our problem.